any streamer's ever done left-handed. Either way, people really liking the left hand. I feel like I'm going to annoy more people if I go for the left hand, so I'm not going to quite do that. Either way, let's watch some Counter-Strike. I'm excited. Hope you are as well. NaVi starting on the CT side, going fairly standard. 5 sets of Kevlar. It's going to be a bit of trouble if they actually let that bomb go down. But with 4 players stacked towards B, leaves the A site. And Kalinka, the standard for today, very exposed. And you can see SpaceSoldiers sniffing out both sides. Going for a fairly two-pronged attack, just seeing if they can find this entry frag. This is a prodding and poking approach where they are just trying to let NaVi make a mistake. And with so many individual players who need to be stepping up on NaVi, maybe that's actually not too bad an idea at all. Obviously, Simple, as of late, has been like a fairly aggressive player in terms of trying to go for these opening picks, getting caught out as well a lot of the time. And maybe SpaceSoldiers will be relying on him making some mistakes today. But if Simple steps up, I'm not sure SpaceSoldiers is going to have much of a chance at all. Obviously, they have got Xantrez, a player who has had a bit of star impact in this tournament, obviously making their way here to this fairly big player match. The winners of this one will make it through to both the final and WCA as well. That's a nice opener from Simple, though. Absolutely ripping the head off Xantrez as Kalinka's trying to tap away a couple as well. So Calix is going to go down before the approach comes into fruition. And they still have to dispatch from Zeus on this side, but Kalinka's just going to burst and tear his way through with 3. Engine going down as well as Paz in the back lines. He's got a world of work to do, and he's going to find the 2. As he makes his way up close and personal, Simple's going to assassinate him with this USP. So a good start from NaVi. Him and Kalinka both stepping up. You see Simple already getting out the M4. A couple of UMPs coming out. Pretty common on Cobblestone. A couple of short range engagements, maybe throwing them towards long, maybe towards drop as well. Being said, who is Kalinka? WTF. Kalinka's a stand-in for today. Obviously, he's standing in for Seized. Obviously, a couple of issues with him getting put on the bench and then taken back off the bench. Then contract issues with Electronic. Maybe getting bought into NaVi for 100,000, which seems pretty cheap nowadays. But that hasn't seemed to happen yet. We've had no news on that. So NaVi are in a bit of a state of flux with this roster. And it's a bit upsetting to say. NaVi genuinely one of my favourite teams. Not to be too biased. I don't want people accusing me of being biased. I love SpaceSoldiers as well. We've seen like such consistent performances from them, and they've given us some damn exciting matchups as well. So I hope that they can make this one close here today. Sneaking up long is Zeus, actually going to get fairly aggressive. Steals away that first headshot, deciding to back off, and that's a nicely placed Molotov as Xantrez actually held back his major. Tries to make his way in, tapping away with that deagle. He only finds the 1. NaVi actually capitalizing. Zeus back on this site, able to swing out again, but Paz gonna annihilate him with that deagle. Trying to sneak his way onto this bomb site. Has the bomb in hand, but Flame is going to eliminate him before any shenanigans come up. 2-0 for Team NaVi. Look at this, fellas. So, if you, as I said before, if you have got any questions, we've got 5,000 plus people here. If you've got any questions, chuck it in that Twitch chat, and I'll be answering your questions all stream. If it doesn't fly past in time, if you've got any important questions, anything. NaVi says, who's this caster? He's really good. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. I'm Squid. Pleased to meet you. Wow. So he's almost connecting that second as well. It's only pistols, so nothing really to shout and scream about, but NaVi going for a fairly passive setup around that aggression. Obviously, Zeus being the only person throwing a bit of a spanner in the works. He has the MP9, so it's not too much to give away. Everybody really knowing that, though, is SpaceSoldiers able to salvage that against the armored opponents. That MP9 shouldn't really be able to do all too much, so not really a threat for NaVi here, as they can just fall back and play passive in Simple's right here around this corner. Xantrez has to do a bit of damage, and he does find that dink, but Simple's going to find him as well. All the kills coming in on the SMG. So that's a lot of money in the banks of NaVi. People probably wanted me to open tab at this point. You can see lots of money for them. Zeus on 7,000 just before he's bought, so he's going to be knocked down a little bit as he tries to drop that AWP over. Who's going to be utilizing that? It is Kalinka. stand-in. It's quite hard to have star impact with the AWP. He doesn't really need star impact, that being said. He probably needs to just get the 1 or 2. He doesn't need to be a guardian on this map, which, who is a player? NaVi are surely missing right now. Do you think Kalinka has a future with NaVi? I don't know. I think he's just a short-term stand-in. I'd like to see Electronic over there, if I'm perfectly honest. I know that's not like an unpopular opinion or anything. I know I'm almost pandering to the crowd by saying that. But I'm kind of on the Electronic bandwagon after all of these kind of time. Opening shot from Paz, almost connecting it onto the second though. Flame is able to neutralize him just in time. His engine looking to shut down 1. It's Zeus falling back on half HP. He's been tagged down a little. So as he falls back to the A site, he's got to be wary. 2 bullets in the chest with these AKs can take him down. And obviously, you don't want to shake your defense if you're an RV. Especially after such a good start. You kind of just want to keep rocking and rolling with this momentum, with this pace. Simple. Oh, that Molotov actually forces him out instead of in. And it's actually a big mistake as Xantres able to find the headshot, storms his way through, but Zeus able to pluck him out of midair. Xantres does go down. In this 3 versus 3, NaVi has given away the entirety of the A site. You can see Zeus trying to make his way in here. He has got the Molotov in hand, so popping that one off. NaVi isn't probably going to stop this bomb from going down, but that Molotov is certainly going to slow them slightly. And Kalinka's even going to hit another shot. So with these Molotovs causing a bit of a stir, a bit of a rattle, they are going to lock Major onto this site and take him down as well. So Engine needs to do a lot of work here. He's stuck all out in the opening and he finds that headshot, a fast one at that. Zeus drops, and Engine actually backing off after doing a superlative amount of damage to Kalinka, who's got to find him. I don't think there's any way the Lithuanian stand-in's going to be able to do much here. The spray comes through, and Engine, is he going to peek out? He does find the headshot. Fast shots from Engine is going to put the first round on the board for the Turks. Wow, that was quite an opening shot as well onto Zeus. Obviously, if you are hitting those fast headshots, backing off as well, playing it coordinated and confident, calm, not just going for the easy peek against an AWP on low HP. Instead, just playing the time, ensuring that you win that round. They are switching up the pace again. Oh, looking lit pass, taking the 2. He's actually going to line them up and rail them against the wall. It's Flamey. He has got a lot of work to do here, but he just sweeps right into Engine. He finds that 1. Zeus, now that needs to be the difference maker, and he does find that 2nd as well. So SpaceSoldiers actually being taken down fairly low here. And the difference maker does need to be Xantres, who takes that first tap. Kalinka here. They are going to spot out Xantres as well as Engine drops. He's got a lot of work to do, but he's unable to do it. As NaVi capitalise. A bit of a disappointing round for them. SpaceSoldiers, all things considered. They found a fair few entries getting onto that site. And I was kind of hoping that they would be able to open up and actually close that off. Zeus did a lot of work, obviously, finding those 2 frags. Finding a lot of time for Kalinka to get up close and personal. But now NaVi, they could be able to capitalise off the back of this. This could be a 5th round for them fairly early. It's not real Xantres though. This is the real Xantres. Boy, he's only on 2 frags, so we're not seeing the real Xantres right now. Unfortunately. This isn't the very peak and pinnacle of his level. But very early into the night, we have got a whole best of 3, luckily, for him to start to step up. This wasn't this isn't a best of 1. In fact, the only game these 2 teams have played against each other was at ESL1 Cologne. That was a best of 1, 16-9 on train. Paz attentively watching for these headshots. So smokes and Molotovs drop. That is to buy a little bit of space for Kalinka to go for the peeks and pokes with this AWP. Trying to stop SpaceSoldiers from getting too close, because 5 versus 5 with the pistols isn't too dangerous for NaVi, especially considering SpaceSoldiers, the majority of their players haven't got armor. But 4 versus 5, you can actually start to get overrun at that point if they do find that first frag and just close up the distance. Simple very close to this angle of engagement, and he does find both of them. Unarmored opponents, though, means it NaVi able to find these crossfires fairly convincingly, and that's a nice shot from Zeus to finish off the job. 5-1 for NaVi as they do hold steady. Regardless, taking that first frag, SpaceSoldiers, they do keep the pressure somewhat up, but this is a double eco here with a slight force here, getting out a couple of pistols, a couple of sets of armor. I would like to see a slightly more coordinated buy from SpaceSoldiers, though. Maybe going for everybody with armor in the previous round and nobody with armor in this one, or vice versa. Not really sure about that one. This chat is funny. I do like looking at the chat every now and again. I do like it. Naruhuya, sorry for butchering your name, says, well done casting. I love it. Thank you very much, man. I really do I genuinely appreciate it as well. From the bottom of my squiddy heart, I do appreciate it. SpaceSoldiers do need to start to step up in this one. Kalinka missing a shot there. Looked like he did actually tag the shoulder, but you can see that he didn't get the damage, didn't merit it. Zeus on these flames is going to find both of them. So SpaceSoldiers, feels like they would normally be hitting these frags. Feels like they haven't really warmed up just yet. NaVi looks supremely confident. Obviously, he's been having a couple of problems as of late, but in this series so far, just been dispatching. Look at that chicken. The pumpkin hat. I do like it. I am a bit of a fan. Do you guys in chat like the pumpkins? Squid good guy, been supporting me for a while. Somebody said, do I shave? Do I shave your head? Oh no, I didn't shave my head. You'll see it between maps. Unfortunately, I didn't. I went back to England and I just didn't go into town. I just didn't do it, man. Look at this push, though. SpaceSoldiers, you know, make their way up close and personal. Paz only take the one, get traded out fast by Zeus. As Xantros takes another one. They are finding the frags that they need to get onto this site, but NaVi still thick in number. As Edward and Zeus find one apiece, and they're still alive, rocking and rolling on this site. As Edward actually finds that pre-fire and looking for the third as well. Edward just shuts it down before SpaceSoldiers can make any ground. And that's 7-1. They're starting to look fairly convincing here. Edward just single-handedly shutting that round down, finding his first 5 frags. He's not the man doing all the heavy lifting right now. It's Zeus on 17-3. This is a monstrous scoreline. Obviously, known as a bit of a mad fragger in his day, but recently, obviously as the in-game leader, is going to be calling these strats, trying to get the team pumped up. I don't really know to what extent he's going to probably be like an arbiter of your confidence when you're playing an online match. I don't know if he's really going to be sort of like raving and ranting or anything and trying to pump his team up. I feel like this is probably more of a chill atmosphere in this team right now. It's not like at LAN when you're playing for $500,000 when he is going to be ranting and raving in your face. He's a bit of a bold in-game leader in that sense, as I'm sure everybody already knows. Kalinka missing that shot. Feels like he does miss the easy ones. That one, nevertheless, was a bit of a shoulder. Does scare SpaceSoldiers off slightly, as you can see Zeus feeling so confident. Going in for these peaks, and he's just going to rail the 2 of them straight in. The chance is Major, game leader of the SpaceSoldier side, is going to find a headshot of his own with that Deagle. They do need 2 kills here for the break-even to keep NaVi's economy fairly honest, and Zeus actually finding his 20th frag. You can see that since they haven't really died all too much, 3 deaths for Zeus, Kalinka, and Edward, they have so much money. Over 10k for all 3 of those players. Only 2 on NaVi, kind of struggling for cash. It's Simple and Flamey at the bottom there after dying a little bit more. People not too happy with SpaceSoldiers' performance right now. I can see that. I can see that if you put some money on them and they just haven't shown up just yet, you'd be a little bit angry. I think that they have got a bit of time to get into this series though, but against a team like NaVi, if you let them get momentum, it can be very difficult. to kind of steal it back and gain the pace. It's 8-1 as well, so NaVi, the ball is certainly in their court right now. Kalinka, other side of the map, is going to find one, get traded out. So a bit of ground over towards the A site as it's all down to Zeus here, who goes down. Very aggressive peek from him fairly early, but this is still a 3 versus 3. NaVi have the health advantage, and that's a nice fast back from Simple. Big headshot from him, as Paz has a lot of work to do here. Only 13 HP as well, so he finds a crucial frag, and he needs to give Major a little bit of space before he can get onto this site. He is just watching for a peek, and Edward's going to fall foul to it. Moves straight into that crosshair. And now this is a 1 versus 2. SpaceSoldiers holding the advantage here, but Flamey actually sneaking, slithering his way onto this site. He's going to find Major all out in the open. With 40 seconds left, Paz does have plenty of time. And he is playing this head glitch angle, going for these shots, trying to find it. It's Flamey actually revealing his forehead for a little too long. He's going to back up here, looking for this frag, and he finally does find it, but gave Paz a lot of opportunity there. And as one of the players who kind of need to be stepping up, Paz, one of the support players for SpaceSoldiers, he does need to be hitting those shots in the final few moments. Obviously, you don't have Xantras there at that moment. Maybe one of the difference makers in this game. 3 frags, a player that we say is ultra consistent, a very bigged up player, probably the best player in Turkey. Just not showing up in this series just yet. Couple of shots pouring on through. Is Kalinka going to find that fast, aggressive shot onto Paz? Going down early again. And this is a problem for SpaceSoldiers. On Cobblestone, you kind of want to be using your brute force. You need all 5 players alive to be able to go for fast, aggressive, decisive executes. And that's something that they haven't really been able to do all too much. These 4 rifles from SpaceSoldiers are just holding passive, waiting for NaVi to make a mistake, but man, these Ukrainians haven't really been doing anything too crazy. They haven't been going for these boosts. Anything all too much. Simple just training his aim onto Kalinka's head. Probably won't be shooting him this round at least. Do swoop into Simple. He only finds the 1 as well. Xantras and Major both finding a kill apiece, but Edward and Flamey are still here. This rotation was so fast, and Major's going to get eliminated as well. So 10-1 is NaVi. They're looking like a very dominant team right now. They look to just have SpaceSoldiers' number at every single opportunity. And here comes the first pause. It's a tactical pause for SpaceSoldiers. Perhaps should have taken it a little while ago. But this does give me a bit of time to talk to the chat. Let's hope this is a long pause, because I want to talk to this chat, man. 7,500 people here. How are you doing, everybody? If you've got any questions, anything to say, chuck them in the chat now. I can't read German, despite living in Germany. So just type it in English, and I'll get asking you questions. Caster too loud? I'll be quiet for you. I'll be quiet for you, baby. How old am I? I am 19 years old. I love you, says John. Love you too, man. Thanks very much for watching. Wow, lots of love in this chat. Hey, how you doing, says Pear. This chat is moving very fast. So I am gonna just hold it up. How am I doing? I'm doing great, man. This is probably one of the best games of the tournament in terms of the 2 teams playing. So probably not in terms of the matchup. Awesome castmate, says Slickshot. Thank you very much, my friend. You're casting so well. I'm impressed, man. Nemi says that. Thank you very much, Nemi. Thank you too much. So much love in the chat. I'm loving it today. Get mods and keep this great casting. Do you want to be a mod? Who wants to be a mod? Type in the chat if you want to be a mod. I might give out mod to somebody that I recognize. Is Kalinka a cheater? People are saying that. No, I don't think he is. I don't know why. I don't know why that's what is a thing. Opinion about Kalinka? He seems very solid so far. Somebody put boobs or butt. Probably butt. My dad's watching this. You can't ask me stuff like that because I'm too easy to bait. I'm way too easy to bait into those questions. Yeah. Either way, I'm younger than you. That's unfortunate. I'm fine. I think it's just a meme that he's cheating. And yeah, he wants mod. Pixel wants mod. Najo says, you're an awesome caster. Those opinions will get you mod. That's correct. Either way, SpaceSoldiers actually getting fairly up close and personal now. Engine has snuck his way up, and he's got reinforcements right behind him as Kalinka, AWP, sweeps over that angle. He's looking for the cloak shot, but Engine's going to find his face anyway as SpaceSoldiers. Something changed in that tactical pause as they have sped it up, and they are finding all the shots. Calyx from behind is going to take another one as well. Flame is going to get annihilated as well, so the Turks switching up the pace, flicking the switch, and finding that second round, but keeping so many players alive as well. That seemed like a very different SpaceSoldiers. 10-2 though. They are still so far behind. If they can find the 10-5 and then get the pistol as well, they could draw this scoreline level, draw it to 8-10, 10-10 with another gun round off the back of that. And that is kind of what they need to be looking at right now. They need to be looking at this comeback, shutting down the momentum of NaVi. Something they haven't quite been doing just yet. Thank you so much for joining us today, by the way. Thank you so much. Really appreciated it. Hope you're enjoying this game. I certainly am. I am really enjoying this game. When will the next matchup of Heroic take place? We've got games on the 10th, 11th, and 13th. So it's one of those dates. Make sure you join us here for that. That's a fast shot from past, though. Kalinka getting shot straight between the eyes before he can even see anything. And he certainly won't be seeing anything now. As 10-2 being the scoreline. Major's even got this flank nailed down as Simple domes him, but unable to get the frag. Major's going to find it instead as he tries to sweep right for another one. What was that shot? So fast! Major flicks it round for his third. An absolute turret there in drop zone. And that's going to secure with a diamond padlock this third round for SpaceSoldiers. That switch up, that pause has definitely changed something within SpaceSoldiers. They've been able to take a deep breath, gain something, some sort of evil spirit that NaVi is unable to contain. Welcome to Halloween. What a ghoulish play. I don't even know how to describe that. What a bunch of beautiful headshots from Major. Edward here, looking to try and take some frags, but instead he is going to lose that rifle. An important one to keep hold of it there. You can see NaVi really struggling with the cash right now. Struggling with the cash on Cobble. Hiding away, but SpaceSoldiers do find him, and you can see NaVi. They haven't got the money here. Forced to finally go for this save, and SpaceSoldiers, if they can, pull this back to a 10-5 scoreline. An 11-4 probably isn't good enough. 10-5. That's something that you can work with. I think when you get to this sort of stage, every single round that NaVi finds here is just the icing on top, the cherry on top for them. AWP for Engine. We haven't really seen this all too much. We haven't really had the economy to get this scoped rifle. It's a big investment, especially on the T side of Cobble, where it's not always a guarantee that you're going to be able to make it work. More so than other maps, I would say. Inferno, Cobblestone, it's very difficult to have it nailed down as Flamey, Deagle in hand, isn't actually going to find any frags. Instead taken down as Simple, going for a couple of tags. Major has been this insurance policy towards the other side of the map so far. And they're getting slaughtered by these AK-47s. It's easy, popping in for a bit of the action as well. Is Edward last alive, hitting away towards the other side of the map, is finally going to find a rifle. Maybe able to save that in this one, but SpaceSoldiers, they're already on the hunt, making sure Edward does not save this one. He's got the AK and Kevlar, and keeping it alive gives him a bit more money in that next round to be able to maybe buy extra nades, drop a rifle to somebody else, maybe even getting that AWP out. Hiding away here as Zantrez is getting frantically close. Edward just popping and dodging, trying to maybe take a fast shot if anybody exposes ahead. That's not going to happen, as this bomb's going to explode and he's going to keep this one alive. 10-4 then, as Space Soldiers, they do obviously have a beautiful buy. They won the last couple of rounds fairly convincingly. A complete change of pace as of that tactical pause. And if Space Soldiers come back and win it now, you've really got to put a lot of the, well, a lot of the praise at the feet of the in-game leader, the coach. You've got to be really applauding both Major and Hardstyle. And look at Paz. He's going to find that initial frag. Zeus getting shot in the face fairly early. So NaVi, they need to get their heads in the game right now and out the bullets. As Calyx, finding a big gap through that smoke, is going to be able to eliminate Kalinka, who's fallen foul to a couple of these crossfires. Pretty predominantly on this A site is Paz, able to just rip his way through. Only Flamey left. And he has actually got to dive through the flames. He does find that first headshot. A bit of damage done, but Paz going to find him. That's a 10-5 scoreline. Decent half, all things considered, by Space Soldiers. Remember, this map should be fairly close, but we haven't seen Space Soldiers on the CT side just yet. We commonly say that they are probably favoured on T. I would say that they're probably one of the better T-sided teams in this whole tournament. So not being able to win this half is a bit of a problem for this Turkish side. Wild says, do I like Jews? I don't actually have any Jewish friends, but I do like Jews. Jews are fine. Entity Death said, great casting. I am 100% not saying this to get mods. Kappa. Kappa. That guy's not getting mod, right? Where's Hash when you need him? Our resident mod around here. Why do I live in Germany? I live in Germany casting and doing other Counter-Strike things for ELC Gaming. Do a little bit of that. Do a little bit of casting. Thank you very much for all that love in the chat. Ten to 5. That's our scoreline as Space Soldiers haven't picked up a kit. We kind of criticised NaVi for this earlier on, but didn't really pan out to be much of a problem. Space Soldiers playing a pretty weird setup. This seems like a counter. NaVi loves this mid-aggression. And, oh, Edward, that was a nice fast flick to find the one. Flamey and Edward both opening it up. As Flamey does find a second as well. Going to be able to wrap around onto Engine to eliminate all four. Paz, now the only player on this B site. Space Soldiers very well equipped to be able to deal with that one. But if you're not going to hit the headshots, it's a real difference maker and problem. And Simple finishes off the round, closes it out with a final headshot. 11-5, and that might be one of the final nails in the coffin for NaVi. That was a pretty devastating round, all things considered. Space Soldiers had 3-4 players, all in connector. NaVi went for that connector push, straight down drop. Space Soldiers still couldn't hold on. I don't know what else you can do in that situation. You get the perfect read, and NaVi still rattle your faces. Couple of nades popped out. Is NaVi just taking this approach fairly slow? Edward and Kalinka, other side of the map, are watching out for an aggressive push, and Paz might give them something to work with. He is looking to round this corner. Space Soldiers getting pretty close to pushing straight up mid. A lot of rifles as well. I mean, the long-range engagement should definitely be won by NaVi. Paz, it's easy, is actually going to find that final headshot fairly quick, and Major actually grinds the second man up as well. So NaVi in actually a fairly difficult situation right now. Sanchez is right behind this corner with a flank coming in as well. NaVi, they've been caught in the trap. They don't even find a single frag. There are the AKs, everything they need on the floor. Space Soldiers, they are right back in this game now. If you look at that round, it was just NaVi made a couple of fundamental mistakes, pushing straight in without any information, and I must lie a lot of the praise at SpaceSoldiers' door. Going for that wraparound, playing a fairly A-heavy setup with the pistols. That 1-2 combo over towards long. Major finding that second frag was just so gorgeous. And NaVi couldn't really deal with it. Santra's getting a bit of a fright. Simple peeking him and going to be forced to fall back. Obviously Simple, somebody who is going to hit those fast headshots. There's Zeus picking up 2 in a row, finally grabbing that UMP, and how does he dart out the way long enough to find Calyx? They've got to have to go for a very difficult retake here as Edward takes a nasty spray battle through the door. Simple up close and personal too. If you give NaVi an inch, they are going to take a mile, and that's exactly what we've seen in this round with obviously Calyx missing so many bullets, giving Zeus a huge opportunity. Maybe definitely the man of the match so far, giving him an opportunity to just spring into life. Simple burns alive in the flames, but finds a kill in the process. This Major has to finally go for this clutch, this retake. He hasn't got a kit, so he has to speed it up or find one. And there is one right on the floor in front of him, so he does have a little bit of space and time left, but he's going to look to fall back instead. Not knowing that NaVi, both players are very low. I disagree with this completely. I would have liked to see him go for this clutch. Try and pick up that defuse kit and try for a fast play. Obviously, maybe overthinking this situation slightly. He didn't take the kit off the floor as well. Somebody pointed that out in chat, but he didn't even grab it, didn't even take it. Obviously, he didn't want to expose himself too much. If he would have pushed forward to go for that kit, if there would somebody be lower or on the A site, very vulnerable to any picks and pokes. Major is going for this initial frag though. Ooh, almost hits that shot onto Edward. Only spots out the tip of his forehead, but unable to find it. And it doesn't put SpaceSoldiers a man ahead. That'd been a really nice and crucial entry frag fairly early here. And obviously that AWP on Cobblestone. We've seen some of the best AWPs in the world being utilised beautifully. I wouldn't say Major is in contention for that, so certainly not on that sort of level. NaVi up close and personal already. Sanchez is going to find that first frag, but he's got a lot more targets to nail down as he finds all 3. NaVi just slow and staggered, can't push the B site and instead falling back right to the waiting arms of Engine, who has got a CZ at the ready, allows one to pass. It's Simple, has his back turned, going to look for this drop zone aggression, but Engine hidden away around this corner, tucked away, isn't going to go for this push. Knows it. 1 or 2 of the T's may even be watching him. So playing this one very passively is very important. You might get all the information. If Simple takes an aim duel and then sticks around for too long, perhaps that could be a difference maker. Engine around this corner, Simple's not going to check it, and there's a difference maker. Engine takes him, AK-47 in hand as well. Edward's not going to be able to do anything here. He's only got 14 seconds left, but he's still wanting to go in for Engine, who he doesn't spot. We saw the forehead, but obviously very disguised away. And Edward's going to walk straight past him, so... Or maybe he... I don't know if he did. Looked like to be second-guessing himself. Obviously, all 5 players of NaVi were watching his screen there. So somebody could have called it in TeamSpeak, but... It didn't quite happen. I don't know what that was about. Maybe just the black view model of the head against the very dark corner. Not really being seen by Edward there. Not really sure how that happens. NaVi favouring this B approach once again. Finally putting a couple of players over towards A. Edward going to be the first man in over towards this side of the map. As SpaceSoldiers, fairly set default. 3 players over towards the B site. Not many players actually on the B site though. Got a lot of players lingering around it like a bad smell. But NaVi, they're going to have to waft them out the way if they want to find these rounds. And Zeus absolutely getting burnt alive, sprayed down by Major as Kalinka
Trying to get up close and personal. Naded down as well, as that's a nice headshot. Straight to the B site. His SpaceSoldiers, they do need to hold it down, and Calyx is going to do it with that first frag, but NaVi, dangerous up close and personal. That's a beautiful shot from Simple to open it up once again, get that bomb down. His Engine and Paz have to make a fairly desperate retake, and Engine go for that initial preliminary spray on through. A mad one at that. As two players from NaVi down very low. He's just been going for the saves fairly often here, and he might be calling it once again. Looking to back off, keep this AK and AWP alive. You can see they've not really got all too much money. They're trading rounds back and forth with NaVi, and that's not what you want on the CT side. It's very dangerous. You need to be picking up those 4 or 5 rounds in a row to get back in contention and winning this one. Remember, if you have got any questions, you can type them in the chat. I'll be watching it all day. Somebody asked me how much I get paid. Not allowed to tell you, man. Some casters get paid a lot, and then other casters don't really get paid too much. I think I'm like in the middle. I would like to see NaVi maybe speed up the pace at some point to finish this one off, but with a very tactical in-game leader such as Zeus, maybe they do just want to be playing these peaks and picks, which has actually been working so far. Obviously, he knows the game far more than me. I don't think anybody really appreciates me kind of critiquing what he's doing in terms of the tactics, especially when they're winning. Somebody said I've got a very nice voice. Thanks very much, man. Much appreciated. I like that. Something I think a lot of casters are insecure about. I'm a bit insecure about it. I don't know how my own voice sounds. I think everybody's a bit insecure about your own voice, right? Either way, 13-7. It's Calyx. Oh, that's hitting a nice flash. Almost transfers it up to the second, but Zeus is going to make his way in there. No flash, goes in naked. Means he is going to find that first frag against a turned around Calyx. Bends over for him as 4 versus 4. NaVi are going to approach and encroach on this site, Major. Taking a spray duel in the flames. It's only going to find the one, but that is enough as they are trading effectively and evenly. Is NaVi trying to make the way in? Paz going to steal away one. Almost hits that second shot, but cannot find it as he's hidden away here in Chicken Coop. They need to find a couple of frags here as Engine able to spring the trap just in time. There's Andres as well. And 13-8's our scoreline. That's a decent round from SpaceSoldiers as well. Obviously, if you lose that one, you got no money left. It's pretty much over. NaVi seem to want to go for a pause at that point, but is it going to be allowed it just yet? This is a force buy, though. Zeus, the first ballsy call of the game for him, and maybe this is NaVi starting to feel the pressure slightly. Obviously, SpaceSoldiers halfway there to the 16. Shouldn't be feeling too tense just yet. You've got 3 rounds to grind out against your opponent's 8. On the T side of Cobblestone, that isn't too much of a mean feat. There's an initial smoke out. Zeus been an absolute difference maker in this series, but I think only 4 frags this half. Him slowing down and maybe going to sleep. There's been a reason that NaVi haven't really been doing as well as they were earlier, but you can see, did they really ever slow down? You had the end of last half where SpaceSoldiers picked up the 4. That gave them a chance in this one, but so far, NaVi have been pretty hot on their heels. Trying to close this one out. That's a nice splash. Major actually going to get taken down for it. It wasn't good enough. As NaVi creeping and crawling into this B site, finally springing the trap. Calyx actually surprises them, but only finds the one for his troubles. As SpaceSoldiers need to go for this desperate retake. There is no option to save here. Paz has the AWP. Needs to get up close and personal fairly quickly as that bomb goes down. Engine on this flank needs to be the difference maker. Edging his way in. Needs to go for these initial picks. That's a flash, but doesn't connect it. It's Marcus. Kalinka's able to find him. Springs out for the second, but Paz is going to deny it. Finds a position of Edward as well as he fits the flick. Just Simple left, and he is dodging behind him. He has got perfect position for this one. You see Simple is actually creeping his way in, or going a bit ballsy here. What are you doing, Simple? Just take the shots. Don't get too aggressive, but he knifes him. Oh, adding insult to injury. Adding a round to the board. 14-8. That's the sound of my heart right now. And probably everybody on NaVi. Obviously, a spot at the WCA finals on the line for the winner of this series. Why do you do it to yourself? Why do you do it to yourself? Simple, maybe the only man in the world who would go for such an audacious play. Unbelievable. In fact, it's entirely believable. Simple. Come on, boys. That's got to tilt you. If your name is SpaceSoldiers, it's got to be one of the plays that really kind of make you feel a little bit sick to the stomach. 14-8 as well. Just to get over the finish line, starting with the knife, has so much mental impact. And NaVi don't seem phased. Couple of Molotovs on through, faking the B site. Waiting to spring the trap over towards A, and SpaceSoldiers finally figuring it out with the aggressive push of Major. UMP in hand. But NaVi, they're already almost here. Lena's going to finally find him, and this should be a call to speed up from NaVi. They need to get onto this A site thick and fast. But Sanchez is going to find that frag. Engine here needs to do something else and actually find something else. And Kalinka and Zeus do trade a couple back. Flamey with the Mac 10 in hand against a couple of fairly low HP players. So should be able to find a kill here if he can rattle off a couple of bullets. Everybody fairly low as Engine does find another frag. Flamey hidden away, has this Mac 10 in hand. Looking to try and do something on this site. Does a little bit more damage, but 3 seconds left. He's out of time. Finds that final kill. So going to keep this Mac 10 alive. Nobody really wanting to peek it from either team. Obviously, such weak economy from both sides here. And 14-9. SpaceSoldiers can't be giving much away. And NaVi finally actually get that pause. Kalinka confirming that it is tactical. Right, have we got any questions in the chat? 9,500 people here. Welcome, 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 everybody. If you've got any questions, type them in that chat. That Twitch chat is the place to be, I think. Sign into your account, because we have got a bit of a pause. I think NaVi will probably take like the full 40, 60 seconds. Do you like candy corns for bullets? What the hell? What are you talking about? Can I speak German? No, I speak no German. I don't know what that said. Can I mod you? Nah. Maybe after this game. Maybe I'll stay in the chat after this game and see who's still there. Zeus is 25 and 14. Simple is 16 to 16. Should we have a look? Yeah. Oh, you can see it anyway, can't you? Either way. Kalinka is one of the best FPL players in the world. Yeah, certainly has the potential. And we've seen that in this game. Who's my favourite CSGO caster? I'm a fan of Anders, man. I'm an Anders fan. I like a bit of Anders in Sadakist. Up and coming casters, I'm a bit of a fan of Snods. Am I single? Nope. Taken, brah. Do I have a car? If so, what car? I have no car. I walk everywhere. I walk to work, in fact. I don't really go anybody. Are you ever going to be casting a LAN tournament? Well, I'm in the studio right now. Unfortunately, our mic's a little bit broken. It might sound that we're not in the studio. What's the prize pool of this tourney? 45,000 for the online stage. Can I sing happy birthday? Maybe after the match, my friend. If you stick around, I might sing some happy birthday to you. Either way, NaVi speeding up the pace here, getting up close to this smoke. And you can see SpaceSoldiers kind of being a little bit wary about it, putting an extra player towards the A site. normally liking to go for the 4 players towards B. But NaVi, after not breaking it open before, means that they are going to perhaps slow it down, look for an opening frag. And that's kind of what you want to do with the pistols. You want to get in your opponent's face, close up the distance, and Engine making a bit of a mistake here. It's actually going to find the first as well, but has Edward right behind him, so that kill is traded out thick and fast. Probably got off a little bit lucky in that situation to even find a frag with players left, right, and centre. Paz missing the arm of the second. Of course, it's Zeus towards the other side of the map. Sanchez back onto this side. Oh, what a flick! Flamey is going to go down. Couldn't find those bullets in time. And Zantris, one of the quickest players in Turkey, is going to find that fast flick. Edward as well, trading it out before he moves his way onto this A site, and he finds his second as well. Knows exactly where Sanchez is, and he hasn't got many bullets left, but he finds it. Edward, what a big play to find the quad kill. Finally putting that bomb down, and he's even got an M4 in hand. That Molotov isn't going to stretch almost far enough. Edward almost burns, but what a shot from Paz. Makes his way onto this site, and it's only Edward left. Needs the ace. Paz needs the triple. Who's actually going to be able to find it? Is Edward on this site, is just trying to nail down this head glitch angle. Paz with an AWP, not the bright weapon, but he does find the clutch. Does find that shoulder. And is going to be able to get that defuse off. Wow. Edward really putting NaVi on his shoulders in that specific situation. Finding a bunch of frags with the UMP. It's going to mean so much money in his pocket, but in the end of the day, Paz stepping up for SpaceSoldiers. It needs to be a player stepping up as well. Obviously, there's a pro player from SpaceSoldiers, not the player that we'd usually be putting all the pressure up onto. That's normally probably Xantris' job, to be able to take that pressure, to be able to be the leader in that sense. Not the in-game leader, but the leader in terms of the fragging. And SpaceSoldiers finally find this 10 double-digit map. This is kind of when NaVi need to start worrying about it. That's a bit of a miss from Paz to allow a little bit of damage there onto his side. NaVi doing and finding frags in almost every single situation here. Bit of a spray down that Simple loses. Caught one out in the open as Kalinka obviously has that AWP. As Calix makes his way in, both of these players are one shot, and especially if you hit headshots like that. Kalinka is going to drop and just Simple left. He is kind of out in the open with the AK-47, and Calix is going to find him as well. Another triple for SpaceSoldiers. This time is on Calix, and it feels like they are taking turns to step up. Back. That is what's going on in the chat right now. People saying that. Paz's clutch. Yeah, you should clip these things. I like the clips. And watch our clips as well. Show us which ones you like. Yeah, we're always uploading our clips and stuff like that. Is WCA the event from China? Yeah, it's the event from Yinchan in China. That's going to be held in December. Not really surprised for yet, but I think it's probably going to be like over 500,000. Do I gamble over matches? No, I don't gamble, man. Not really much into that anymore. I think you should probably keep it fairly separate. SpaceSoldiers taking a lot of damage and losing a player early means NaVi with a great chance of taking this round. This needs to be the one that the Ukrainians take if they want to close out this match, at least in regulation, feeling good about themselves. Going on to train next. Fairly confident this is something that they need to be finding. Engine right around this corner. NaVi should be able to wrap in and find it. Simple finally going to find that headshot, but Engine did take one in return. That is almost enough. As Calix, almost a beautiful flash actually, steals away a frag. And Simple goes down as he goes for seconds and finds it. 2 versus 2 now is SpaceSoldiers. They do actually have a chance in this one as Edward actually loses his life. It's just Kalinka left, stuck on this site without the bomb down, and he flashes himself. This isn't a good situation to be stuck in, as he does salvage that bomb, but with only 20 seconds left, almost has to find these frags. Paz looking for this peek and poke as Kalinka almost finds that shoulder shot. As that bomb goes down, Santra's wrapping his way in. AK-47 at the ready, and he finds that final one. Looking for Paz as well. Has got the AWP in hand. Was the man of the moment just a few rounds ago, but Kalinka up close with this AK-47. How the hell is Paz going to be able to find this frag? Needs to rattle off a fast AWP shot, and I don't think it's going to be able to happen. Paz rounds the corner and finds it. Kalinka wasn't able to round it in time, and that's the 12th round now from SpaceSoldiers. Slowly but surely closing up this gap. Every time seems to just be Paz right now. Unbelievable. And 14-12. This match is starting to... Wow, I'm a bit lost for words. I think it's a bit of a tale of two halves right now. With NaVi obviously coming up with a great start, and now SpaceSoldiers just really romping at home. Another tactical pause, this time from... Who is it? Is it... it's NaVi again. So, as expected, I didn't know if there were any shenanigans from SpaceSoldiers trying to slow down the pace after a couple of clutches, trying to keep their cool. But they are manhandling the NaVi economy as well. This is extremely close. Either way. Bullies changed to candy corn. I don't know what any of those things are, man. I don't know what bullies are, and I don't know what candy corn are. Are you American? Is this American? Oh, no. Where are those clips? People clipping the stuff. How do I start casting and get hired for events? I literally just sent an email to an event one day. I sent it to Asus ROG and got hired, so... That's what I did, and I covered their Finnish event. And that was the start of something great. I absolutely hated it. I was terrible at casting. Still am. I'm not. I don't think I'm like the best caster or anything like that. But I was absolutely abysmal. I could barely even speak. Either way, what a absolute shutdown from SpaceSoldiers. Alex just rowing them up, and they are finally starting to feel it, aren't they? Xantros as well. Pair of frags from him, and what the hell did NaVi discuss then? That was an absolute bloodbath. Maybe this was the tactic they're going for. The AWP out, Kalinka, T-side of Cobblestone. We said earlier, it's not very common to be getting out an AWP on this side of the map. It's very hard to utilize it and make it work. They have got the 3 rifles. UMP on simple. Probably one of the best players in the game with this specific weapon. Paz has an AWP of his own though, and it's over towards this A site, so if SpaceSoldiers do concede a couple of frags, it's going to be very difficult to get this AWP back onto the site, and that's probably the main problem SpaceSoldiers have been having over towards the B side of the map, is the AWP being the other side. Xantros is actually going to get caught out. There's a bit of a cartwheel as Flamey shoots him in the face. Calix going for this trade. Is going to find it. Back straight off towards this B site again. His SpaceSoldiers do actually hold steady. It's a 4 versus 4. And NaVi still haven't made the grind onto this site. But now there's nobody on this site for SpaceSoldiers. They need to get on. As Calix almost lines him up. Does find the first and opening frag. And this bomb still isn't down as Kalinka rattles off another AWP shot. Paz. It's the AWPs doing all the work right now. As they find another one. Simple with a final headshot as Paz finds another one. If he actually pulls it back once again with another triple kill, I'm going to hit the roof. I don't know, but Simple shuts it down, ends the show early, and that's a 15-13 scoreline. There's nothing Paz could do about that. He was just too close and too fast, taking the initiative. Now, I had never cast it before the Asus event. I'd never done a practice cast or anything. Never, ever done a practice cast. Paz goes for that initial aggressive peek and pick, but is unable to find it. Only finds the tag onto a Kalinka who's now on 30 HP, but has that AWP, which kind of neutralizes the fact that he's got Not much health. Obviously, a nade can be dangerous, but this has already been a bit of a rattlesnake of a map. A map of very small margins as well, and lots of clutches. There's Flamey with one. Calyx trades it out towards the other side of the map as well. Flamey thinking it was a clean trade. Is Calyx actually able to steal away another one? But straight to the waiting arms of Simple, who's onto this site, and there's a second from him. Might actually close this map down here, as he puts 2 on the board. SpaceSoldiers looking to flank it way through, but Simple going aggressive, but Paz finds him. How does he know where Simple was coming from? Just Edward left, but he's trying to break this crossfire. Engine stuck in this corner as Edward needs to find this Angel, and he does. Nail it and rail it. Is this bomb is actually stuck all out in the open. Edward's unable to be able to get this one, so he has to find this frag, and Paz doesn't know it. He doesn't know that this bomb is caught all out in the open. As Edward sneaks his way through, they're not spotting each other, but Paz turns around and finds him between the shoulders. A big mistake made by NaVi. Obviously sending a Simple up top with the bomb. It actually dropping. Oh, this is destined to be overtime, isn't it? We're in for a close cobble. Another pause, another Q&A. If you've got any questions, fellas, about anything, you've got to ask it in this chat. We've got exactly 10,000 views. Thank you very much for watching. If you're enjoying a caster rank, I'm a bit of global elite, bruh. I'm a terrible global elite. I used to play so much Counter-Strike, but now I'm not as good. Pazzers. People are saying Pazzers. People love a bit of Paz, don't they? Cheeky bit of Paz. Scoreboard. Do you want to see the scoreboard? You can see the scoreboard. There we go. So we should be getting back into this matchup now. How old am I? I'm 18. I'm 19 even. Christ, I'm 19. Either way, SpaceSoldiers, not much money left in the bank. They're starting to be bled dry by NaVi, who have found like pretty much 3 or 4 frags in almost every single round, and that just puts too much pressure on you if you're a CT side wanting to go for multiple buys in a row. NaVi, though, they definitely have drawn the short straw in terms of the economy here. Barely any money to talk of. Yep, they got the pistols. There's a UMP on Kalinka, the best weapon out of the lot. Obviously, winning one, then losing straight away against SpaceSoldiers. Not really what you want to be doing. And SpaceSoldiers' buy isn't actually cataclysmic. They have got the AWP. There's a rifle as well, but Zeus already finding a bit of aggression onto this B site there. Salvaging it without actually too much contest at all. They haven't spotted out Major, but he finally actually drops. Zeus straight onto this site. Is this bomb looking to go down? Calyx needs to find his way in. It's Paz again being the difference maker. Rattling a shot against Simple, who has been one of the star players on NaVi for such a long time now. SpaceSoldiers need this clutch to bring it through to overtime. In NaVi, they only have the pistols. It's not so bad on the B site, but there's Zeus and Flamey finding a pair of frags. Engine and Calyx do trade it back, and there's only Engine left, losing all of his teammates. 1 versus 2 here, and Flame is actually going to drive by and find the shot, find the 16-14.
Farmscans.com. Top 2, the most visited case opening platform worldwide. More than 70,000 case openings every day. Many cases which have become legendary for our users. Join the FarmSkins Club and get your free daily case today.
What a first map. Sorry about the hair. I should have got it cut right. Should have got it cut. I wore a shirt just to make up for it. Either way, I like this background as well. Looks pretty decent, right? What a first map from both teams, but NaVi finally able to clutch it out in the end. See you back here in just under 10 minutes for the second map of the day. It's going to be a cheeky bit of train. Don't go anywhere.